With the economic downturn, a flood of young girls are entering the nightlife scene. For just 200 yuan, $27, a 20-year-old girl will accompany you for entertainment. There are really a lot of girls working in nightlife now. It's honestly hard to imagine. Nowadays in Shanghai, out of 10 pretty girls, at least 8 are working in the entertainment industry. You go downstairs for a walk, and the pretty girl you run into might just be working in nightlife. Some you can tell, some you absolutely can't. These days, whatever industry makes money, beautiful women will go into that industry. Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers from around the world is a huge source of inspiration for us. Would you date an older man? Sure. Could you accept someone 20 years older? Yes, why not? A dad can be a boyfriend, of course. Wouldn't there be a generation gap? This kind of thing. If both people share similar values, then there shouldn't be too much of a generation gap. Why are more and more girls entering the nightlife industry? Well, one reason is that this year the nightlife industry has become quite unfriendly to many girls, and in the future it'll likely get even worse. Because of the current overall economic downturn, more and more people are losing their jobs in various industries. Starting a business is also getting harder. Plus, with the rise of the internet and the popularity of short videos, more and more people have become aware of the nightlife industry, and so they enter this field. But when too many people want a slice of the pie, some people end up not getting enough, or getting nothing at all. A few years ago, many girls could work 2 or 3 shifts a day, and didn't need to worry about not getting shifts at all. But this year is different. Many girls are stressed about whether they can even get a shift today or tomorrow. After all, when more people enter, the competition definitely gets a lot tougher. Having a note-taker accompany you for 90 minutes only costs 200 yuan. Having a billiards girl accompany you for 60 minutes only costs 80 yuan, $11. Spend 1,000 yuan, $138, and you can have someone's daughter, raised for over 20 years, stand there and greet you with a charming smile. Young people these days, they can drink from the bar all the way to the final stop room. Love in KTV ends right at the elevator door. No matter how pretty a girl is, there's no shortage of wealthy uncles around her. And boys of the same age can't compete with those uncles. So now they start going after married women. As the saying goes, young men are chasing married women. Young women are falling in love with uncles. In this era, the rich end up with love, and the poor can only watch it happen. Where is love anymore? There are many girls openly asking to be kept. They even gave this behavior a nice-sounding name. Looking for a dad-type boyfriend. If you search the term dad-type boyfriend in the search bar, you'll find that all related content is about seeking sugar daddies and listing prices. Dad-type boyfriends are simple and straightforward. They satisfy the need, and you don't have to go through the trouble of pleasing some goddess. Isn't that just delightful? You can even change girlfriends every month. But once you get used to this distorted form of love, you might not be able to have a normal relationship again. It started with boys and girls posting handsome or pretty photos to fish for attention, then moved to organizing group hangouts and searching for a crush to dine with, and now it's directly stating conditions and prices to seek sponsorship. It's truly getting more and more absurd. If you're still watching, comment 1, so I know you're still with me. My classmate earns 3 to 4 figures daily by doing borderline adult live streams. She takes home 6 figures a month. We're both fresh college graduates, but comparing people really just makes you angry. What I make through a whole month of hard work is less than what she makes in a single day. I kind of want to try borderline live streaming too. Is there any company out there willing to consider me? Feel free to reach out to me, haha. Girls, cherish your time working in nightlife. Right now, the nightlife scene is way too competitive. Because more and more girls are entering the industry, the competition pressure is definitely getting heavier. 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, being in your 30s with some makeup skills and fashion sense was enough to get the job. Now, personally, I think after age 27 or 28, it's hard to survive in nightlife. Because there are just too many girls now, and more girls born after 2000 are entering. And every one of them is young, pretty, and knows how to dress up. Some even know to get cosmetic surgery. So in reality, you can't really do this nightlife career for many years. If you're planning to enter, or have already entered, while you're still young and can profit off your looks, you really need to make good money and save it well. Think more about planning for your future.
我要知道
If I had known that after graduating from university I'd end up being a live streamer, honestly, forget about going to college. I wouldn't have even finished middle school. I would have started streaming right after 9th grade. At least then I wouldn't have had to go through 4 intense years of online classes, learned nothing, and wasted 4 years of youth and tuition money for nothing. Also, I never thought someone as goofy as me could become a streamer. I can't sing, can't dance, can't even do borderline sexy content. Never imagined I'd actually become a live streamer. No counselor told me, no teacher mentioned it, no one gave me a heads up. If someone had told me earlier, I'd have started streaming long ago. I'm serious. Now I see so many college graduates can't find jobs, and they're all turning to live streaming too. The current job market really is tough. I'm a 2024 graduate. I still hold the status of a fresh graduate. This year is 2025, so I've been working for less than a year, but it's almost a year now. After graduating, I started working at this company, and I've been here ever since. I think I'm doing pretty well. I've managed to stick it out until now, even though I haven't saved much money, because I'm working away from home, not in my hometown. My hometown is a really remote little rural village, so I had no choice but to go out and work. That's what I mean. I think the current environment is really tough. I don't even dare to change jobs. Some of my classmates are going for graduate school, some for civil service exams. Some are in the same boat as me, some have switched jobs, others haven't. Some who switched are still looking and haven't found anything yet. I really don't know how everyone's doing nowadays, because after graduation, basically no one has checked in on me. Only a few close friends occasionally ask how I'm doing. So like I said just now, are there any other 2024 graduates out there? If you have any thoughts, any reflections or feelings, feel free to post them in my comment section. Maybe it'll bring a little comfort.
Yeah.
More and more female college students are being kept. They have good bodies and looks. With some makeup and dressing up, they look exactly like rich, beautiful socialites. Their monthly allowance starts at a minimum of 10,000 yuan, $1,380. They wear luxury brands from head to toe, and their footprints are found in all kinds of high-end hotels and attractions. Their sugar daddies even buy them sports cars and villas. These are young women in their early 20s, enjoying a high-end lifestyle that their peers can't even dream of. Maybe in a few years, these rich girls will choose to marry an honest man or someone who doesn't know about their past. After marriage, they'll still enjoy life as they always have. If you're a girl, I wonder if this would shatter your worldview and values. Yesterday, I specifically talked to a female friend of mine. We chatted for over 6 hours, and she shared an unbelievable story with me. If you hear it, I promise it will bring you tremendous insight. She told me that after the college entrance exam, her family went bankrupt and her parents divorced. Her mom once held a kitchen knife and tried to commit suicide. During that time, she constantly worried that her mom would kill both her and her dad. Her family originally owned 3 houses, all sold off to pay debts, and they still owed hundreds of thousands. She almost couldn't afford to go to college. At that time, she thought maybe she should just drop out and work. But she had good grades and had always been the pride of the family. Her mother insisted she go to college. But the college she got into was an art school, and tuition was extremely expensive. Her mom begged many relatives and borrowed over 10,000 yuan, $1,080, to pay the tuition. When they finally gathered enough for tuition, she stood by the roadside and cried her heart out. From that moment on, her mom's catchphrase became, "Child, you're the pillar of this family now. We'll all rely on you from now on." For years, those same words were repeated over and over, constantly reminding her. After entering college, her mom never called her again. She cried endlessly at school, and countless times wondered if she should just find someone to keep her. Sometimes she even thought she was too selfish. Why not give up her freedom and dignity to pay off her family's debt and let her mom live a better life? It's just selling her body, right? At first she went out to work. She was still young then, She worked in a tea house, serving tea, wearing a tight qipao, and putting her hair up. As long as customers ordered expensive tea, she could earn commission. Her base salary was 1,500 yuan, $207 a month plus commission, the highest amount she could imagine at the time. She even saved it and barely spent a cent. Later, the female boss moved the tea shop into a 4-star hotel. From then on, a very elegant woman would often come to the tea house to discuss business and chat with all sorts of men. Not long after, a girl about her age would show up and take the elevator with her. Over time, she realized that woman was a madam. When business was slow, the madam would sit down, order tea, and chat with them. Until one day, a middle-aged man sat beside them, his speech full of flowery metaphors about tea. He had come several times before. He was a friend of the madam. After he left, the madam called her over and told her that man was interested in her. He was willing to give her 200,000 yuan, $27,600 a year. Told her to think about it. Honestly, my friend had considered it. 200,000 yuan. In just 2 years, she could pay off all her family's debt. Her mom wouldn't be suicidal anymore. Maybe even her parents would reconcile. At that moment, her moral compass was beginning to tip. So she lay in the tea house's dorm room, tossing and turning all night, fighting an internal battle. In the end, her moral cleanliness won over her impulse. The next day, she resigned from the tea shop, told the boss her family had issues, and she needed to go back. But deep down, she knew the real reason. She had to escape that environment. If she didn't leave, she might have made a decision that she'd regret for the rest of her life. Later on, she entered the workforce in Shanghai. She also met men who promised her big houses, asked her to stay in Shanghai. She turned them all down. She said one sentence that brought tears to my eyes. This world is big, but if you didn't earn something through your own efforts, how can you be sure it's truly sweet? Sometimes, just a few years can be enough to destroy a person's life. So I sometimes think about what she said. She told me she didn't want to look back on this period in her old age and feel regret. Now she's gone from an overworked junior graphic designer to a senior designer at a major internet company. She and her boyfriend have paid off all the family debt. She married her high school sweetheart after many years of dating. Now the couple is focused on building a better life together. They are grateful and content, and she is thankful that she stayed true to herself in the face of temptation and didn't let fleeting material desires steer her life off course. Before we parted ways, she asked me a very thought-provoking question. If it were you, what would you choose? I thought for a long time and told her, I would make the same choice as you. How severe is the current job market? A 36-year-old with a bachelor's degree living in Tianjin can no longer find a job. This is just one of the many unemployed people around me this year. After losing his job, he lowered his expectations but still couldn't find a stable, decent job. This guy went for several job interviews. Half of them turned out to be scams. One driver position offered a 7,000 yuan, $965 monthly salary, but required you to bring your own car worth 200,000 yuan, $20,600. Then he interviewed at a sales company. The base salary was 1,100 yuan, $207 for the first 3 months, and you had to pay for all expenses yourself. He also interviewed for a live streaming position, but the condition was to already have 500,000 followers, with a monthly salary of 10,000 yuan, $1,380. This is what's happening in 2025, in a supposedly first-tier or second-tier city like Tianjin, an absurd urban tale. My personal reflection is, from an official standpoint, there's a willingness to help, but not enough ability. Even with the new wave of individual entrepreneurs, many are hitting bottlenecks as they age out. This will likely lead to a large number of unemployed people. As for the self-media industry, it might be the last ticket for ordinary people. Yes, it feels a bit shameful, but honestly, every industry is the same. If you had asked me 5 years ago what field to go into, I would have said online content creation. And now, I'd still tell you the same. Open your phone, go to the apps where people spend most of their time, see how others are making money, then look for your chance and jump in decisively. But still, it's best to find a job, preferably one you can stick with. 2025. Let's all keep living humbly together.
这个社会
What on earth is happening to this society? It's driving all these low-level laborers to the edge. Just look at the past few years. Couriers, food delivery workers, taxi drivers, and all the other workers in lower-tier jobs. Life is getting harder and harder for them. So many people are deep in debt, they can barely survive. They earn a meager income every month, and some men can't even support their families. I really don't understand what's going on. Why is it that people at the bottom are finding it harder and harder to live? Harder and harder. It's honestly unimaginable. Recently on the internet, you see workers from all kinds of industries, those at the very bottom, speaking out on platforms like Douyin. Some of them are on the verge of a breakdown. Maybe the pressure of life is just too much, causing them to mentally collapse. Especially food delivery workers, in recent years, their lives have been unbearably hot and miserable beyond words. I just don't understand how things ended up like this.
在大部
In the eyes of most Chinese people, the moment you try to take a break, you start to feel anxious. The moment you rest, you feel as if you've committed a crime. From the age of 18 all the way to 65, you're working your entire life. The scariest part is, after working for over 40 years, you still don't end up with a happy life. From elementary school to middle school, high school to university, everyone seems to be constantly rushing forward, like a donkey that can never take a break, working non-stop until the very last breath. Most people's lives are wrapped in invisible anxiety. The high school entrance exam, college entrance exam, graduation, marriage, having children, working. Every step comes with pressure. You can't rest. You can't fall behind. You can only keep pushing yourself to do better. If you're already in your 30s, then being unemployed, not having a job, is like committing a crime in paradise. If you rest at home for 3 months, your family and even your neighbors will treat you like a walking plague. Only by constantly making money and constantly working can you be considered a qualified person. A human life lasts only about 30,000 days, and yet it seems we're always living for others, just to be called excellent, to be seen as hardworking, as someone who can make money. A lifetime of toil, only to end up with a lifetime of anxiety and fear, all just to prove yourself to others. Guys, so basically we're the class of 2024, and it's been almost a year since graduation. Let me share with you the current situation of the 4 girls in our dorm. Starting with myself. In the past half year or so, I've done 2 jobs. The first was in a telemarketing company. I had to make tons of calls every day. It was super exhausting. I worked for about a week, finally got a day off, but then found out that even on my day off, I had to keep making calls from home. If I didn't, they would fine me 20 yuan, 275 ses. I got really mad. I was feeling rebellious and posted a rant about the company on my moments. A manager saw it and they fired me. Then I stayed home unemployed for 2 months. After that, I found a job at a pottery shop. I worked there for 2 months. Everything was going smoothly until the boss secretly sold the store behind my back. Then the new boss came and started yelling at me in the shop. 80 decibels. Who can take that? I couldn't stand it, got into a fight with the new boss in the store, and of course, things ended badly. I've been unemployed at home ever since, almost 3 months now, still jobless. Then there's my bunkmate in bed No. 1, she's from Yichang. She took the local 3 support civil service exam. Her written score was excellent. She got first place in the written test. But it seems she didn't do well in the interview, so she didn't make it. Now she's also unemployed, job hunting like me. Then there's another girl. After graduation, she worked at an art training institution. She just resigned recently for 2 reasons. First, her colleague was super toxic, like seriously toxic. What kind of person? The kind who wouldn't say anything to your face at work, but at 10:30 p.m. after work would send her a massive emotional essay on WeChat. Creepy. A huge block of text. She couldn't take it anymore. Plus, that coworker seemed to have some mental issues, sometimes snapping and yelling at her. She couldn't take it anymore and completely fell out with that coworker. The second reason was that another colleague is getting married in May. She said if she didn't quit now, she'd have to give a wedding gift in May. So she ran. Now the last girl in our dorm is probably the most stable among us 4. Her company is close to her home, only a 10-minute e-bike ride away. She never has to work overtime. In fact, her company even changed from single weekends off to alternating single and double weekends. Now she gets 2 extra rest days per month. Sounds like the dream, right? But even so, fate still decided to mess with her. Her thesis got randomly selected for a quality check. She was the only one in our graduating class from that whole department whose thesis got flagged. She was the only one who had to go back to school to defend again. She said when she found out, she felt like she'd been struck by lightning. Even heaven didn't spare her. So, looking at how we've all ended up after graduation, nobody's doing especially great. We're all kind of the same. Honestly, that gives me some comfort. At least no one is secretly living a happy life behind my back. Seriously, I do feel consoled. Suddenly my own situation doesn't seem that bad after all. Not that miserable, not that pitiful. From the real-life stories of young Chinese graduates, a troubling social picture emerges. The issue of unemployment is becoming increasingly serious. Even with a university degree, many still cannot find a stable and decent job. Traditional industries no longer have enough space for the younger generation, while entry-level requirements are becoming more and more unreasonable. Low salaries, but demanding personal vehicles, prior experience, or even a large follower base if you want to live stream. Faced with financial pressure, family expectations, and harsh social comparisons, some young women have chosen a shortcut, entering nightlife professions, finding a sugar daddy, and trading freedom and dignity for short-term material comfort. While they may enjoy luxury cars, designer brands, and lavish vacations, they are also at risk of long-term psychological damage, social stigma, and losing the chance to live a meaningful and sustainable life. The story of the young woman who turned down 200,000 yuan per year to preserve her values and eventually found success is a powerful example of another choice. One that is more painful, slower, but more sustainable and filled with dignity. The advice for young people is this: don't rush to sacrifice yourself for immediate gain. Give yourself time, courage, and patience to build real value from your personal strengths. If society doesn't offer you a path, learn to create your own. Even if it's rough, it's worth walking. What about you? What do you think about the choices that young women face in today's society, between unemployment and instability, or a materially comfortable life at the cost of honor and freedom? If you're in your 20s, which path would you choose? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We truly want to hear your story. If you found this content meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming analysis on modern Chinese society. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.